Hello and welcome to Totally Addicted to Tech. I am so thrilled to have Bobbi Jo here with me today from Invitto Performance and Moneypenny USA. Hey Bobbi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm very well. So we met Bobbi Jo from Moneypenny, our friends up the road here in Wrexham. They have a USA office and you work for Moneypenny USA as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. I'm the sales manager for Moneypenny USA.
Great. And how's that going?
Yeah, it's going really well. The brand's growing every day in the US and we're excited for the growth. So
yeah, that's brilliant. But you have a bit of a different hat as well, don't you, away from Moneypenny? So do you want to just tell us all about Invitto Performance and where that's come from?
yeah, so I wear a different hat. I grew up playing softball, and during COVID, we found ourselves in a interesting environment, and we were listening to the needs in the community, and a lot of athletes, specifically children, were really struggling because they were the ones thriving on the human connection and the interaction and the socialization. And when COVID hit, they weren't getting that. And just training a few athletes on the side from coaching a team turned in the opportunity to build Invitto Performance and actually open up a business. And we were able to bring on probably over 100 clients and start to train them. And basically what we do is it's a holistic approach to baseball and softball, our athletic development. And we draw on my experience as a professional instructor and an athlete. And we kind of just teach them life skills and leadership skills, and confidence was really the big one that we focused on during COVID.
That's incredible. So when did you start Invitto Performance?
We had started small before we named it, before we realized what was happening, because it happened so organically. Yeah. One lesson turned into 3, and next thing we know, we had 30 kids at a clinic and rec departments reaching out. So Amanda and I, who's the co-founder, who also works at Moneypenny, sat down one day, and she has a design background, and we came up with the idea of Invitto Performance. And Invitto stands for undefeated in Italian. So we decided that, we were going to teach these athletes and these little humans how to be undefeated at life, and no better time than the pandemic and the situation that we all found ourselves in.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you started off really small, like just doing some coaching. So well, first tell us a bit about your background. So how did you get into all of this, and yeah, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, I was a little kid who used to hang out at the ball fields and watch on the fence all the boys playing Little League, and turned into a coach saying to me and talking my mom into letting me play. And that turned into a athletic scholarship to a Division I school, and I played competitive softball, and then found myself with an opportunity to use it as a career and go teach it professionally. And I've gone to Germany and trained their Olympic softball team internationally, and actually was the VP of Business Partnerships and Director of Softball Operations for a franchise called Frozen Ropes. And that kind of led me into my experience to be able to even think on my feet during COVID and come up with, the opportunity to give back to the community with Invitto Performance.
Yeah, wow, that's just incredible. And so how many kids have you got now?
Well, because we're in a transition, so we originally were based in Charleston, South Carolina, and we developed a really big community. And then with the expansion of Moneypenny into Georgia, we got the opportunity to relocate, and we have extended our brand into Georgia. And it's really important to Amanda and I that we allow it to happen the same way it did in Charleston, organically. So we're really focused right now on just networking in the community, slowly starting to make our way in and meeting the rec departments and doing some free events and getting to know the community and see what their needs are. And then if Invitto organically grows into more, then so be it. But we're happy to say that we still communicate with all the athletes in Charleston. And I do train a few up in the New York area still. So we keep good communication. And even if it's not athletic development per se, throwing, hitting, it's still mentorship where athletes are reaching out, celebrating their successes, sharing their experiences, and I think that relationship is one that's really important to me, because that was what really helped me grow as an athlete. It wasn't just the on-field experience, it was the mentorship and the communication that happened also off the field.
Absolutely. And those life skills that you were speaking about, they're so important, aren't they? You can learn so much from it's not just a game, is it? It's definitely not just that. So what are the types of sort of life skills that you've been working with the kids over, particularly over COVID? It's been such a hard time for them.
I think the biggest one, and the one that our brand is represented by, is resiliency and being an undefeated spirit, right? And just having an undefeated mindset and understanding that failure is a funny word, right? And we want to, I try to tell athletes, use that word as a positive and use it as a way that you're going to learn from your mistakes and embrace failure. And our big motto with athletes during COVID was, we need to really become good at being comfortable during this uncomfortable time, and teaching them skill sets of like a mental flush, being able to let go of the bad moment, the error, or the emotional turmoil that comes with making a mistake and letting your team down, and being able to rebound, and just talking a lot about positive affirmations mentally and really controlling your mindset.
Yeah, it's incredible how just a negative thought can really impact your performance. Just that I can't do this to I'm gonna do this, you know, that switch can be so impactful, can't it?
Yeah. And I think we also focus a lot on energy and managing how emotions are connected to your energy. And if you can connect the feeling, the thought and the feeling to the action, you then are able to stay composed in those moments of real pressure and competitiveness.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, it sounds amazing what you're doing, and all of the best with the growth of that. I hope it absolutely flies just like it did for you before. I'm sure it will.
Thank you.
So you've been recently taking part in the Tech Time Out 10 challenge, haven't you? Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you've got on with that and how you found it?
Yeah, so excellent. We found it through actually Moneypenny. Neil and I had a conversation. He reached out, asked if we'd be willing to bring it to the US. And we were excited at the opportunity, and we started really small. And what we're seeing was Amanda and I started it first. We chose Mental Health Awareness Month to start for ourselves as the founders. We wanted to be the ones leading the way. And then what we did was we picked 12 people that we thought would really participate and benefit from it. We sat down and we thought about the athletes when we trained them, who was addicted to their phone, who would be in the lesson with their phone right there and be like, coach, can I check my phone real quick? You know, so we picked those athletes. And then we picked some family members of mine because I have siblings who are in the health industry, who also have children who got a different experience than I did. I didn't get my first phone till I was 22 or 23. They got theirs at 8 and 9 years old. So we extended it out to the 12 of them, and 5 of them have fully participated. If you look at social media, you'll see that 4 of us fully completed the 10 days. We received another card in the mail from another athlete today in Charleston who completed hers. So they're starting to trickle in, and it's been really exciting to watch, because what we've seen is it's also been a family affair. So we sent it to one athlete, but then you're seeing by the end, by day 6 or 7, now their siblings are in the pictures and they're baking together, or they're writing postcards to their grandparents or their aunts and uncles. Yeah. So it was a really incredible experience to watch. And I think for Amanda and I, as the founders, our biggest takeaway was starting to check in with screen time and seeing that decline, and how starting in day 1 or day 2, you get that itch, right? Like I got that phantom vibration in my leg, like my phone was going off. And then by day 6, I even would at work, like I forget where my phone is, I'll leave it in my bag. So the first week, I think our screen time went down, the 2 of us combined 3.5 hours. By the second half, the second 5-day challenge, we were down to 6 hours collectively. Wow. And we enjoyed it so much that this Sunday we made a pact that we were going to put our phones away, and we went to Six Flags for the day. And I was proud of myself, because I don't think I touched my phone for 8 hours. So
incredible. I'm so pleased that you got that benefit from it. You're right. I love that the phantom vibration. It's I think I did my first proper tech time out. I was in Chicago actually, and there was I'd left my phone. I completely switched off the whole week, and I left my phone, and I was walking around, and I kept like going for it. I was like, "Where's my phone?" Or like, "Where is it?" Or like you feel like it's ringing and it's not. You know, it's insane that you get that kind of itch. And I don't know about you, but I even still kind of get that kind of, you know, as soon as I put my phone in the bag, it's still a bit like, oh, what do I do now? Okay, this is okay, it's fine. The world is not going to end in like an hour if I go and do something else.
Yeah, and speaking with my sister, that was her biggest feedback for my 9-year-old, because my brother-in-law is a professional gamer for Twitch. And so they've lived their whole life with technology around them. She's 9 with her own little streaming service. And so my sister's feedback was, wow, the anxiety in the first couple of days for my 9-year-old, it was like when the Wi-Fi goes out, right? You know how we panic when Wi-Fi goes out now. But then once they kind of got her through the separation being okay, and I think Danielle's feedback was the key was keeping them active when you take the phone away, because so many of us use that phone as a sitter, right? And I don't mean a babysitter, but an attention sitter. When we have downtime, the first thing we do is get lost in mindless scrolling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you do need to, it is that replacing it and doing it with something else. So, I mean, you did some amazing things. I saw yoga, or I saw cooking, I saw, yeah, Six Flags. It just like all this like really fun stuff that you were getting up to. So I'm so thrilled that you embraced it so much. And I love the stories and all the social media posts were great. So would you do it again? Is this something that you think that you'll keep up in terms of this like separation from tech now a little bit more?
Yeah, Amanda and I have made a pact to start to incorporate it more. I think it's something I would love to do monthly. And in talking with some of the athletes and the families that have participated, the feedback they got was, especially in the sports performance industry, this is a really great team building opportunity, because what you can do is you can use it. I've had 2 conversations over the last week with a cheer company and with a rec department, softball rec department out in Pennsylvania, how they can partner with Tech Timeout and how they can come on and we can use it in a way that's team building. So it's teaching the athletes, let's put our phones away and let's go do something off a softball field, whether it's go to a trampoline park or go to an aquarium or just go for a walk in nature together. But using it also, to put away technology, but also it's so productive using it in ways that's going to benefit them in their sports industry as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like you said, like there's certain elements of technology that are incredible. I mean, the fact that you're still in connection with some of these people that you were training and that you were able to do that. And I imagine that's virtually right. I imagine you're not like traveling back yet. So, the fact that we can do that and we can have this conversation right now, technology is amazing, but we do need to, like you said, just check in with ourselves sometimes of, is it going a bit too far? Like why am I getting so much anxiety for being away from my phone for 30 minutes? It's there's a bit of a signal there that we need to make some changes, but that's great. So I guess, well, I'm so thrilled that you got involved with the challenge, and I'm like all the best with the business, and I hope it spreads. So I guess, would you recommend the Tech Time Out 10 challenge to other people?
Absolutely, I would, for 2 reasons. One, it really gave my partner and I some quality time back where, you're typically sitting scrolling, and we took the opportunity to put the phones away and go for a walk together. Or, one day we read a book together, and another day we asked ourselves questions and we learned things we maybe didn't know about each other. So for that, yes. And for the other reason is, I think that mental health as a whole is something that, especially here in the US, we can do a better job of just finding healthy ways to kind of get our minds around what we're feeling on the day to day. And I think that sometimes the phone can exasperate those feelings. So anything to kind of help us get back in touch with our human nature, I think I'm a huge advocate for.
I love that. And I think I think that's a perfect statement. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to say anything else. Thank you so much for your time. That was brilliant. And I'll speak to you very, very soon.
All right. Thank you.